Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're playing with some of Dina Wakley's new February releases and doing some collage fodder. Excuse me, and today we're looking at alphabets. So Dina's just released this brand new alphabet stamp set which is called Block Letters. It's one of my favourite fonts and you'll have seen it on a lot of her tissue papers and in stamp sets in phrases beforehand. But now she's released her own stamp set. Now, I currently am working with a broken wrist, so I don't have the strength to stamp in a usual way. So this is how I'm working, and it actually worked really, really well. The other reason I'm using paint is because my ink pad was borrowed by someone and the only black ink pad I had was quite dry. So by the time I'd covered all the letters, the ink would have dried out. So to combat that, what I've done is I'm using my gel plate, which is the Ranger gel plate. I've put out some black gesso and rolled it out, and I've rolled it onto my stamp set. I've kept my stamp set on its original backing just to keep everything together. Now, I've just done this so I could have lots of collage fodder. I had to ask my mum to help me cut them out because, again, I can't really use scissors at the moment. But it's something you can do sort of watching TV at night. You can have a whole heap of these printed out and you could be chopping them up. I was printing with black paint because I was getting a really dark black image, which is what I wanted, a really contrast. You'll notice I was also stamping on to Dina's Collage Collective papers. Now later on in this video you'll see some papers that I've stamped on doing exactly the same project, and they're papers that I've created myself using the acrylic gloss sprays. You can do this over text paper, you can do it over any paper you've got, gel prints that you've done. It's just a great way to use up those bits and pieces you've got that you don't think you'll use, and you can have them sitting there. So thinking about sort of pre-stamping stuff out onto these papers and cutting them out just to have sitting around for, you know, that perfect piece when you need it. It's with the Collage Collective as well, I find it's a really great way of using up pages that I don't have a great idea for, or the pages that don't necessarily appeal to me. If I use them in this way, I find that I can get really good colour combinations. For example, this page is very, very red. I would just really struggle to use that in its entirety in some way, but the fact that it's got those beautiful bright red letters on them, I know that's going to be a fabulous contrast onto another page. So I suggest you sort of think outside the box a little bit. Now, because I had lots of paint left on my gel print, I did not want to waste it. So I broke into some new products from Dina Wakley. So these are masks or silhouettes that you can use in your artwork. So masks are the opposite of a stencil, basically. They're the inside bit, and they're so useful for lots of different things. So again, I'm grabbing a Collage Collective sheet, rubbing it over the top, and when I peel it off, I'm going to have these really cool framed images of that Collage Collective with some black around it. Now I'm just using a piece of deli paper to clear off my excess paint on my gel plate, so nothing really gets wasted. You use sort of everything. For those people who do like to clean their stencils, definitely wash them off afterwards. I don't. My stencils have now got that black on them, but that actually, well, in my stencil box, not necessarily on my glass mat, helps me find them a little bit easier. However, what I would recommend is, if you do what I did and print with paint on your stamps, do clean them off immediately. You don't want your acrylic paint sticking onto your rubber. You're best not to have it stick on your rubber. I've got some still stuck on there. They still print fine, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you clean it off straight away. So here are some close-ups of the pages that I printed just now. Here are some close-ups of some other pages I've done. Exactly the same process, using some different coloured paints. So I printed in pink, had the black and outlined them. Also doing it in white, and again I find you can see that up at the very top. White paint gives you a really opaque look. So if you're looking for white text, printing with white paint would be a really handy thing to do. So I hope this has helped you and you can find something useful out of it. It's a great project to do when you don't have very much time or can't think of something to do, because it's something you can use again in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.